Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report, starting with the ASX here on the daily chart. We're looking at, wave 3 here, wave 4 here, and then we're looking at primary wave 5 in the light blue up through here, and we're looking for 5 waves within that. And we have intermediate wave 1 and intermediate wave 2, and then we're looking for 5 waves in wave 3 here. So we have minor wave 1, minor wave 2, minor wave 3, 4 and 5 to make 3 here. And once this is completed here, then we'll be looking at an ABC correction here and calling that wave 4. That can pull down to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, or 38.2% of the whole third wave here. And then we're looking for the final 5th wave up here. This top here is really significant top actually, because when you think of, let's say, 1929 to 1933, 1934, that big bear market back then, that was wave 1 and 2, and then we've been in a big 3, and then we've had wave 4. From the wave 4 was the year 2000, the tech boom crash. It's top of wave 3 to wave 4, and then we're going up to wave 5. So we're in a whole series of wave 5s to the top. So it's a massive cycle to the top here, you know. Anyway, apart from that story, this top here, I'm having a little bit of problem with this top here, calling this top in here. I think there may be one more little top to come into play here. So to solve that problem, we need to talk about strategy, and we have been talking about strategy with this particular top here. And I'll just go to the 4-hour chart and pick it up from this point here up to this point here. So just bear with me a second. 4-hour chart. So yes, this low here, excuse me, this low here with this wave 4 here, I've never really known if I should count it like this here, or I should count it as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. That would bring wave 4 here. On this market here, it's a low here, lower than this one here, but on the cash market it's not. On the cash market it's quite okay to put it here. And then I would put wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 here, and we have that top in play already. Now, the European markets have got this in play here at the moment, but the US markets have still got one more move to go up, you know, to finish on up here. So I don't know if this is the case, or we're going to need to put this over here, and this one here, and this one here, and this one, put this one over here, and so on here to have this final topic. So this is still a bit of a mystery to me. So we've just got to play it out a bit carefully here. We know a few things here, in that the move from this top here down to this low here, we know that the 50-60% retracement level comes in, as you can see here, in this space here. So normally when we're looking for a corrective rally, then we would be looking at that 50-60% mark, 62%, 61.8%, or also too, as you know, I like to gravitate towards the largest number and use that there as well. We can see that it will support over here and resistance here. So there's a couple of things that we need to look at here, just in terms of sort of psychology, is that if we do get a move that that moves up here, that doesn't mean that it's going to continue up here. What it does mean though is that it will have to come back and check on it and get support here before it takes its next step up there, and then we look to go long there again in that sort of thing here, and then look for a new high above this level here. But we won't, you know, we can't really call this making a new high here until we get a nice tested support on the 6,000, because at the moment it's actually resistance, isn't it? So you know, that's where the risk is. If it was if it was sitting on top of support, see this one up here moved straight through, came back, really found the support here, come back and checked it again, and you know, and continued to make highs here. So, but in the bigger picture, it hasn't. But so there's a process that we need to work through in this space here. So what we've also done as well is that we've pretty much under this one here, we've put the decision that we'll look to go short under under this point here. Or we can lift that up here a little bit as well, but just generally speaking, that would be you know, that would be the short trade, and over here we'll be looking for the long trade, even though that it may be long already, because we're looking for rallies. We're still expecting the US markets to push higher as well. So I'll just move on to the hourly chart and just show you, pick up from where we were last time here. So that's the top, and I've got it as wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and we're looking up for wave 5. So we're doing all the right things at the moment. So this is where we've got this sitting over here. I might just move that and put that there and just put that into our lighter grey there, which means it's the alternative count. So at this stage here, looking at this here, yeah, our count so far has been that we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're looking at this as 3 and 4 and 5 here. And within from 3 to 2 here, we're looking from 2 to 3, we're looking at 5 waves in here, and we're looking at those in terms of a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I don't particularly like that because of the overlapping wave structures there. I could also probably allows me to put this here as wave 1 in here, and wave 2 here, and then it's not such a bad overlap. That's possible as well, but it's not going to help us in trading terms at this particular point. But what we were looking for last time we spoke was a move down here as this wave 4 here, and we wouldn't turn bearish last time we spoke unless we had 59.50 here, the midpoint, as the retested resistance. So we're still there on the long side at the moment, but this move here below this level, below this point here now, that's our critical point here. So just save that. So what we're looking for here at the moment is we're looking for a move up into this space here, and then we're looking for a corrective move here, and then another move up here. Now, I think it's also good to, and this is where it can also fail as well, this wave 3 here, where this wave C here is. So that's okay too, because, you know, let's just say if we move up here and make a new high above wave 3 here, and then we get a pattern here, but if it locks itself you know, under the 6,000 and just, you know, fails to find support and develops more of a resistance, well then we will look on the bearish side of things. But we also need to take the European markets and the US markets into consideration as well. I also need to point out too that we're working with this number here, 6,000, and so when we're working with a number here, we've also got to give consideration to you know, what the corrective span is within that number there, and we know that here we've got group 1, which is 1, 2 and 3. This is subgroup 1. So if we found a tested support on top of 30 here, then we know that we'll be going up from that point, a tested support. And below here is group 2 at 80, 72 and 65. If that becomes the retested resistance, then we need to be on the bearish side from that point. So really the corrective pattern within 6,000 would happen in this particular range here. So we just bear that in mind too. This is the psychology of the market, and psychology of the market really is just how people think about numbers. And it's the volume. Psychology is volume, but then the volume gets attracted to certain numbers, some over the others. So I just want to have a look at the US markets while we're here. If we look at just look at the S&P 500 here. So with the S&P 500 here, it's still from this wave 4 here, it's got wave 1 and 2 here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and we're going up for wave 5 here, looking for 5 waves in here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. Then we've got wave 4 and then wave 5 here. So this particular sort of price action here, that kind of matches up with if I go back to the Australian market now, it kind of matches up with this. We need to finish off this, have a correction, and then another push up. That's what I'm thinking in line with that. Okay, so that's sort of where that's coming from. On the tick chart here, this is where we were yesterday, last time we spoke on the Friday. So yeah, so this has come into play here now, and we're looking for this moving to the upside here. So I could probably count this out as put wave 1 in here on this leg here, wave 2 on this leg, and then we'd be looking for wave 3. So if I put wave 3 here, wave 3 would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then up for 5 here. I can't draw on this side of the tick chart here, but that's what we'll be looking at, wave 3 there, and if I can just borrow that, we'll see wave 4 here, and then we'll see wave 5 move up into this space here, basically failing to find support on top of group 1 here. And this can also be wave 3 here as well. If I was looking at the European market, then this would be a top area through here. So if I copy that and just put that there, and I can put text on this side, and I can draw some objects on this side of the price, but I can't draw trend lines, unfortunately. It's a bit of a flaw in this trading platform, but apart from that, the Pro Real Time is a good platform. So yeah, look, that's where we're sort of heading, and we need to see this top out here to either wave C or 3. So once we get this top in play here, then we'll see some sort of pattern here. We need to pick that pattern up this week. So it's not particularly good trading at this stage, but it's getting there. Yeah. So. Yeah, the other point was that this low here becomes a critical situation now. So instead of putting it red, I'm going to put it green, because we want to be short at that particular point in time there. All right, okay. And just a little sort of update on the trading levels charting program. As you know, the Yahoo data we had for that, the free Yahoo data, is not in play anymore because it was bought out by Verizon, sorry. But we have been able to work out the Google data now. So we've got the historical data working, and we've put that into the accounting program, but we're working on getting the current last price working as well. Once I get it working in the accounting program, then I'll put it in the trading levels charting program. And we're also working on a new money management system that will go into the accounting program as well. It will be for contracts, so Forex, and also indices as well. And then I'm also working on stocks and baskets of stocks as well. So this will be a much better management system than what we currently have, and we'll talk more about that later. So there is a bit of busyness going on in the background, so all good. Alrighty, anyway, look, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.